Okay, so on our next topic, it is grief has no time frame. At this point, Mary, I think you're the perfect example that grief is an ongoing journey. And after Mary shares, Alyssa, I want, if you can, share your professional opinion and advice on why grief has no time frame. But Mary, we'll start with you.
Okay. Like I said, it's been 18 years, going on 19. It'll be 19 years in November. That I lost my first set of girls. After I lost Abigail, she was only 3 days old, and 5.5 months later, we lost her sister Gabrielle. Then I found out I was 3 months pregnant for my rainbow baby, and God blessed me with a healthy baby. And just a few years later, I got pregnant again. And we had Madison at 20, I want to say 21 and a half, 22 weeks. And that didn't work out as planned. She was born healthy, but she got an infection in the hospital. And during all this time, starting with Abigail, they sent me to counselors. They sent me to psychiatrists. I was seeing doctors. They had me on meds. But no one knew the loss of a baby. No one they sent me to could really relate to what I was going through. So when Abigail died, I said, oh, I'm a pro at this. So I called right away to my counselor in Ville Platte and got in just to make sure I was on the right meds, different things like that. Then I had Jonathan in 2005 during Katrina. And again, I knew that I couldn't do it on my own, but there was really nobody out there. Maddie's wasn't even in existence. We had no support groups whatsoever. I was basically winging it, which sometimes didn't work out. I had 2 nervous breakdowns. Then I went on to have baby Jonathan. And he passed away the same day he was born, which was in September 18th, I believe. And my mom passed away 8 years ago in June on the 23rd. And I lost my last set of twins on the 27th, the day after my birthday. I ended up moving back to close to my hometown because my dad was ill. And it was taking a lot of me to drive from New Iberia all the way to Basel. And so my kids were like, let's just move home. So I leave my counselors, my everything behind, and have to start over. And for the first year, I was like, I've got this. I'm just not going to take medicine. I'm just not going to do it. Mary didn't have this at all. And so I started seeing someone here in Eunice on 2nd Street. And she brought up Maddie's to me and kept trying to encourage me to get a hold of someone. And it wasn't until a family member lost her baby that I got a hold of her. She posted something about Maddie's. And I asked her, I said, are you going to this meeting? And she said yes. And I said, okay, I give up. We're going to do this together. And I've never looked back. I have a whole new family who totally gets what I'm going through. Maybe you've only lost one. Maybe you have several miscarriages. But you know the road. And it's long and it's hard. But over the years, things get softer. They really do. And for 18 years, my babies did not have a headstone. And Reese approached me and said, we're going to do that. We're going to get that done. And that has meant the world to me. I have a place now to go and meet my babies and sit at the graveyard if I want to, not just an empty spot. And it really does help. It really does help. Sometimes I think, I ain't got no business out there. I shouldn't go today. But I end up going and I leave with a smile. And just Maddie's has been fantastic. But it's not an easy road, but it does get softer.
Mary, thank you so much. And I think you're such a beautiful testimony of strength and of courage and of endless love. And you're right. You jumped in both feet first. You haven't turned back. You have not missed a meeting, not one Zoom meeting. You blow me away, and we're grateful to get to love and support you. And thank you for being a helper of others.
I'm so blessed to have you guys.
For sure. So Alyssa, this is probably a really good opportunity for you to explain why there's just no timeline. We're going to grieve for life.
Absolutely. No, I agree with that. There's a lot of times that I've heard, I'm going through the stages, so I know I'm doing well, but we know from our standpoint that you don't follow a particular stage. There's no order and there's no particular timeline for that. You can grieve as long as you grieve. And just piggybacking off of Mary, how she stated that, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but just oh yes, you did say it gets softer. I believe that we will grieve the rest of our lives. Of course, we all know that, but we do know that there are going to be instances or encounters that we experience, and we know how to handle them differently, or just know that these emotions will surface at this time, and we know that we can refer back to our, like you've stated all in here, your tribe or your support group or support system. You can even call a counselor, or Reese. I know she's always available, but I think that there's absolutely no timeline, and everyone grieves at their own pace, and you're all okay.
For sure. And it's been a long 18 years, but just the Mary that I've known in the last few months is a different Mary. And I didn't know the Mary before Maddie's, but who I know now is a strong lady who's lived grief upon grief upon grief. So you're an amazing person.